Good evening and salutations, my GH fans. Let's talk about Spencer, Sonny, and Dex. Yeah, I mean, if you haven't figured it out by now, you've been watching my reviews for a very long time, you know how much I do not like Spencer. Okay? He comes across as a arrogant, self-entitled prick. Okay? And in this episode, it's like this is just a daily routine for him. Okay, he comes mouthing off at Dex, and they're like, "Why are you living here?" And this, that, and the third. And I'm like, "Bro, you pay rent here?" Because last time I checked, this was Sonny's place. This isn't your place. And even after a while, Sonny had to sit there and put him in his place. Now later on, he does admit that he's only going after Dex because he's an easy target. Because he's upset with the whole Esme thing. He's upset with the fact that Cam is leaving. He's upset with Britt being dead. He's upset with a lot of things. And he's using Dex as some sort of personal punching bag, which is really cowardly of him to do because he knows that Dex is going to sit there and fight back. But yeah, Sonny has to sit there and put him in his place. Um, so while that's going on, you got Trina visiting Esme just to kind of sit there and see if she is faking this whole amnesia thing or if she's telling the truth. You know, Trina does mention the same thing that Laura was saying. Do you think this is a good idea to raise a baby in jail? Now, this is where Esme comes across as selfish because she knows in her heart of hearts that it's not a good place to raise a child. And she's much better off giving that child to Kevin and Laura. But because because she's just being selfish, she doesn't want to do that. Now, she also is saying that she doesn't agree that she should go to jail for a crime that she doesn't remember. And I'm just like, nah, boo. That's not how the law works. You don't get to just sit there and say, oh, okay, I can't remember anything. So can I get out of jail now? Like, just because you don't remember the crimes don't mean that you didn't commit them. And even Trina was like, no, 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 no. That's not how that works. Esme talks about, oh, my parents could have been sitting there coercing me and this, that, and the third. And I'm like, I get it. You want to sit there and get out of jail. But, nah, bro. What you did with Trina was real, and you do deserve to pay for that. Now, Trina does leave, and she tells Cam and Jocelyn and Spencer to meet her at Sonny's place. They get to Sonny's place, and Trina's like, I think that we should drop the charges. And at first, I'm just like, I'm sorry, what did you just say? Because I couldn't figure out that one at all. But then she does explain that if she beats these charges, she can't be tried for the same thing. So if she decides to pull like the same act or whatever, she's just going to get away scot-free. But she's like, if she lets her go, if she drops the charges, and then she does something else, or she tries to do the same thing, then she's going right back to Bentonville. On top of that, she doesn't want that baby to be raised in jail, and since Esme wants to sit there and be selfish about it, it's better to just let her free than to let her raise that baby in jail for about, I don't know, however long the law allows that to happen. So I was like, I gotta give you a point, Trina. For the past couple of days, she's been getting on my nerves, but today, I'm impressed. So I give her a point. Liesel tells Nina and Sonny, and eventually um, Willow and Michael and Carly, that she can do the transplant of the stem cells. But she's gonna have to wait a little bit because I guess there's a drug in her system, and they gotta wait till the drug is out her system before she's able to do it. So now it's gonna even be longer before they can sit there and do this whole process. And I'm like, wow, they are really they're really I don't want to sit there and say milking them, but they are literally sitting there trying to extend that whole story as long as they possibly can. Now, Nina does ask Sonny because she saw that as security, and she's like, "What's going on?" And Sonny's like, "You didn't want to know about my world, so why are you asking these questions?" But now Nina wants to sit there and know, and now it's going to be a little of a mini test. And I won't sit there and say a full test because let's be honest, Carly has been sitting there dealing with that mob stuff for years. Nina, this is her first time, her first rodeo, as you said. So, this is going to be a first little indication of Sonny's world. Now, I personally do think, and I've been saying this for a while, I've been saying this, TC has been saying this, maybe a few other people have been saying this, that I feel like Maurice Benard is on his last year. So it's not like Nina's going to get the full test that Carly has gotten over the years, but she's going to get a glimpse of the danger that exists in Sonny's world. And this is something that Cam was telling Josh about, like, yo, you don't want to do this. You don't want to go down this path. But of course, Josh is just like her mother, so she's not going to do what I'm going to do. And it's going to be what it's going to be. But they do end off on good terms. So I mean, at the end of the day, I'm not gonna sit there and project my feelings onto somebody else and be like, "Come on, bro, really? Like, you just gonna sit there after she used you like a damn toilet seat? You just gonna be cool with that?" But at the same time, I can't sit there and knock somebody for personal growth. I'm gonna be honest. That's a hell of a lot better than what I would have gave her. But it is what it is. Um, what else we got? So Alexis accused Gregory of drinking. And Gregory's like, yo, I'm not drunk. Like, what are you talking about? But there is something wrong with him. So Alexis is like, I don't think you need to be driving. Which, I, honestly, tell you the truth, I think that's the only points I'm going to sit there and give her in this situation because, regardless if he's drunk or not, he does not need to be on the road. So she did take the keys from him. But she snipped the ass and she's like, oh, well, this is what addicts do, and this, that, and the third. And I'm just like, she's projecting because of her past history. And that's not fair on her. Now, to some extent, she's being kind of extra. Asking all these questions, all these invasive questions and stuff like that. I'm like, boo, y'all not married. Y'all don't have kids. You need to sit there and slow that down. Gregor gets upset. He gets defensive. He leaves. Alexis goes back to Sam and sits and be like, hey, I think he's drunk, this, that, and the third. And Sam was like, well, did you smell any alcohol? No. But now, from what I heard, vodka does not have a smell. Like, you can't smell vodka on someone. But Josh, I mean, but Sam does sit there and talk to the bartender, and the bartender's like, yeah, I didn't, he didn't, or they didn't serve him anything. But she's super convinced that he's drinking because of her past history with other people, of herself, lies, excuses, and everything like that. She thinks that he's drinking. Now, I think it has something to do neurologically, maybe a tumor or something like that. I feel like that's where they may be going with the story. But I guess Tom will sit there and tell. But I'm just like, bro, you need to slow down. Stop assuming something when you don't know the whole story. And when he's ready to tell you, he will tell you. Yeah, I mean that's cool that y'all friends and stuff like that, but that doesn't give you the right to sit there and start prying into somebody's medical history and stuff. Um, Maxie was sitting there trying to get work done, but she was just being kind of obnoxious about it. I wish they would give Maxie something else to do, other than her doing this her nurses ball thing. I mean, don't get me wrong. I know a lot of people like nurses ball, but I'm just like, this is what they're reducing this chick down to now. The nurses ball. Come on, when do we stop caring actually as far as giving Maxie something to do? That's a good story. They used to give Maxie some really good stories. But they used to also give Christina some really good stories, and now it seems like they just So, that's fun to watch. Brooklyn is still sitting there pining over Chase. If anyone actually cares about if they're gonna get back together, and Chase is sitting there, hanging out with Willow and the baby and Michael and stuff. And I give him points. I mean, granted, at this point, she does have cancer, so. But I mean, I'm saying I give them points. I give Chase a lot of points. It took a long time. It took a while before them to get back in that good place where they're all friends and they're just celebrating life and celebrating the baby and just kind of hanging out together after everything that they've been through. So I give him a lot of points for that. I give Chase a lot of points for that. Um, or Michael. I forgot. I honestly tell you the truth, they had that whole issue thing with Chase and Sasha was so long ago. I think it was Chase and Michael. Oh no! Now I'm sitting there remembering it because Michael was sitting there knocking Bruce Willow behind Chase's back. Point is, it's all forgotten. It's all in the past. So that's cool. I almost forgot about what that little privileged prick actually did. So he told Sonny that Dex is sitting there seeing Jocelyn because apparently it was his business and his place to do so. Listen, I'm all cool with the bro code and sticking together and stuff like that, but I'm like, bro, that really was not your place. It really wasn't. But I guess at some point we're gonna sit there and find out the fallout of Sonny sitting there talking to Dex about messing around with Joss. I knew it was something else. I was sitting there thinking, I was like, but at this point, I was just annoyed with Spencer, besides the fact that he was mouthing off to Dex, and Sonny about him staying there like he pays any rent. But it was something else that he did. I was like, wait, what else did that privileged little prick actually did? Oh yeah, that's what it was. Anyway, and also Lisa was still upset with Scott because her stupid reasons at this point. I understand that she's upset a little bit, but I'm like, sis, that's his client and that's his family. So I understand that she's hurt, she's emotionally hurt and everything like that. I'm like, Scott went through that too, more than once, you know. So I'm like, she needs to really sit there and just. And I honestly tell you, when she came hanging off the phone, I was like, you know what, Scotty, just let her be. Let her be. Because honestly, tell you the truth, the way the attitude that she's sitting there giving them, I'm like, you know what? Right now, she's not worth all that headache. Let her calm down. Let her cool down. And when she actually starts sitting there thinking and realizing how wrong she is for her being upset with Scotty, then you can talk to her. But until then, let her just chill out in a little timeout somewhere. And yeah, I think that's pretty much about it. I can't really think of anything else that happened. So yeah, that being said, I'm gonna go. I want to thank you for watching. Be safe, and I will see you in the next video.